It's Madden NFL 24, and we've got the latest chapter of a historic rivalry. It's the Atlanta Falcons and the New Orleans Saints, and it's all up next.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL has us at the venerable Superdome in downtown New Orleans. Today we've got an NFC South matchup, as it'll be the Atlanta Falcons taking on the New Orleans Saints. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, the wait is over. The regular season is upon us. It is kickoff weekend around the NFL. Our two teams here getting in a final tune-up, but let's look ahead to the 2023 season. What are you going to be watching for?
How about some of the recognizable new faces in new places? Aaron Rodgers, Derek Carr, Odell Beckham Jr. The identity of teams under new coaches in places like Houston, Carolina, and Denver. And then, of course, the rookies. After the draft, we want to see how they perform.
Two teams more than ready to get this one started. And we are underway from the Superdome. This fielded right at the goal line. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The Falcons ready to go to work here on offense. And at the helm in his second season, Charles, it's Desmond Ridder.
The Falcons got their feet wet with Ridder during a 4-game audition last season, and he did end their year with a pair of wins. Optimism reigns that he is their quarterback of the future.
Off the play fake, it's Ridder. He's got his pass-catching tight end. That's Pitts. 4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. Second down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series, they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
That one, a first down pickup of 8.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Ridder's throw complete there to Smith. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a second and about a foot. Option left, and Ridder keeps it. And some solid footwork there as he'll take this down to about the 38. 14 yards that time, and a first down on the keeper. And this, I mean, it's certainly something to watch out for. He is not afraid to call his own number on plays like that, and here he takes it for good yardage.
And we know this defense prepared all week for this, but sometimes when you see it in person, it's a whole different ball game, and all that preparation, it goes right out the window.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down.
That's what you're going to need to do against those big receivers. You got to get in there and get physical with them. That time he got in close, got in tight, and knocked the ball away.
Now it's 2nd and 10. Ridder back to throw. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived. and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Ritter cannot escape, and they bring him down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. 3rd and long, you knew that he was going to throw it. He just couldn't find anybody to throw it to.
Yeah, and it shouldn't have been a surprise, but that was perfect execution of their nickel defense. That 5th defensive back, the extra defender, he really tightened up things downfield in coverage, and they were able to get to him in the pocket.
So on now is the Clemson man, Bradley Pinion, to punt this one away. Deep for New Orleans is Rashid Shaheed. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. So here come the Saints to take over for the first time. And here's the new man under center after 9 seasons as a Raider. Derek Carr is the guy.
It's going to take some time to adjust to seeing Carr running out in a new uniform. Instead of black and silver, it's black and gold. 35,000 yards and over 200 touchdowns with the Raiders. The Saints more than willing to let him air it out all game long to a talented group of pass catchers in the Big Easy.
Carr going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10 at the 20. Now a man picked up after 2 years in Detroit. It's Jamal Williams. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
Williams going to get it again on 2nd down. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
3rd and 9 here. Throwing now is Carr. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Dangerous spot for them to cough it up. Lucky to have recovered because had the defense gotten it, they were already within the shadow of the goalpost.
And then you're yelling at your own defense. Sudden change, sudden change. That's not what you want to hear on your sideline. That means you got to run out there and try and stop an offense who has the ball in a very advantageous position.
Here comes the Saints punter now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. Taking on the midfield logo. A nice run back there off the good punt. It's a 16-yard return. And the Falcons are set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now the first running back taken back in April, the former Longhorn, Bijan Robinson. He'll work his way up the middle for a gain of about 4, 2nd down.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
Might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Well, they were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4. He's got his target. That's complete. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a 1st down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. Taken down by Pete Werner.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
2nd down and 8. Ritter will set up to throw it. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he takes it inside the 10 to the 8 before he's out of bounds. That leads us to a 1st and goal. It's a pickup of 8.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down. Executed it to perfection. They'll run with Robinson. A nice little juke. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4.
That's good power football on 1st and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there, but that's a nice job to chew up a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line.
2nd and goal from inside the 5. Robinson is not going to get a whole lot, maybe a yard down to the 3. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal. No score after 1 on EA Sports. 2nd quarter now, Falcon football, as they'll see what they can do on 3rd and goal. Ritter now. Touchdown! Kaderl Hodge from 3 yards out. And the Falcons post the first points of the ball game as they take the lead here in this 2nd quarter. Well, we had the scoreless 1st quarter of play. We sure didn't have to wait long into the 2nd quarter to get some action on the scoreboard.
So was the 1st quarter a feeling out process? I mean, that was an interesting quarter, wasn't it? Because we had some action, we had some good play, just didn't have any points. So now it's game on.
Koo able to connect on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. So that drive takes them down the field in 8 plays, and the Falcons score to cap it off. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. On the return, here's Rashid Shaheed. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. New Orleans Saints, they get ready to set up shop for their 2nd drive. They'll be looking to match that touchdown from a moment ago. 7-0 is the score as they begin with a 1st down. Now Carr. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Now the Saints' 3rd-round pick back in April. It's Kendre Miller. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. A big hitter there. A 1st down gain of 26 yards.
Not too shabby for his first carry of the game. That's exactly what most teams are looking for. A really good change of pace back.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Williams. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
This is 2nd and 8. On play action, now Carr. Here's Johnson with a reception. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 35. Give him 18 on the play.
Good job there of getting his tight end involved because he lines up on the right side of the formation, just works his way across the field. I really like how they were in sync on that one. He spotted the open gap in the zone, and his quarterback found him, and they get a first down.
The Carr's throw complete there to Thomas. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. Options galore here, 2nd and a few inches. Now Carr. And that one's going to be off target and incomplete.
I didn't like the look of that play right from the beginning. I thought he should have seen the coverage that was there, tried to force it in. That one, he's fortunate, just fell incomplete.
Play number 7 coming on this drive. It's 3rd and inches. They fake the handoff. Now Carr. And the catch made by Johnson. And he is going to have a Saints first down, and he'll have it by plenty as they're able to keep the drive alive on 3rd and inches.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15, a gain of 3.
That run wasn't a big breaker, but I don't think the guys on offense mind very much. They've got a nice drive going, and they might just be luring the defense in a little bit. They could probably come back with a play action, maybe go over the top. But right now, on this drive, their playbook is open.
And Shaheed going to go in motion. He'll get it here on the jet sweep. And this is not going to work as planned. He's going to be met and dropped behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down. That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can give yardage in order to gain it. But in this case, they gave yardage and didn't get it back.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
What an excellent defensive stand there in the red zone. Nice tight coverage. They certainly recognized how important it was to bring up 4th down here.
Out now is the field goal unit for New Orleans. From the right hash, just a 34-yard attempt. And this one is right through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal, you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
The lead cut to just 4 as they kick it away and turn things over to their D. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Meanwhile, Ritter's throw complete to Hollins. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. It's a gain of 35.
A very nice job right there, working the middle of the field, able to create some separation and then utilize it to not just make the catch, but turn upfield once he got the ball in his hands.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Looking to throw it here, Ritter. And he'll complete this one to Patterson. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. Call it a gain of 3 on the play. And that's going to bring up 2nd down. Second down and a run by Robinson. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the 1st down marker, and now it's 3rd down.
It's not a huge breakaway run, but if your starting running back finishes the game with averages of 5 or 6 yards per touch, you'll take that every single time.
Two minutes to play in this first half, 7-3 our score. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Ritter. That is caught. And he gets it down a yard or two shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. They get 5, and it will go ahead and move the chains.
Now that's absolutely frustrating for a defender. Had a chance to get him on the ground before he got to the sideline. But what great vision and understanding where he is on the field as he headed for the marker and picked up the 1st down.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
They had their backs up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
Here's 2nd and 10. Ritter to throw it. Short throw caught by Pitts. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. To the air again, it's Ritter. They'll get this into the hands of Hodge. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. It would be a very makeable field goal try from here, but instead they're going to go for it. They'll run for it with Robinson. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. Wow, 1st and goal, and defensively all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well. I thought they might try the sneak, but what they had planned turned out much better.
It certainly did, and let's face it, when you run the sneak there, that's probably the better percentage play to pick up the 1st down. But if you have confidence in your offensive line that you won't allow any breakthroughs by the defensive front, you run what they did there. Let the big guy take the football who runs it a little bit.
And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. It's a 1-yard touchdown run. And the Falcons will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. So they brought the extra bulk in down on the 1-yard line, and they're able to push this one across.
Yeah, I can just see your face right now because I know we're mind melding on this one. Coach Madden would love this. Power football, hat on a hat, chest to chest, driving forward, touchdown.
Extra point by Koo, up and good. And that pushes the lead up to 11. Now Pinion with the kickoff honors following the touchdown. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Saints offense going to head out now late in this first half. Well, not much time remains here in this first half. We'll see if they can get something out of this drive, at least a field goal. They could certainly use it, down by 2 scores. Throwing on first down is Carr. Underneath for Miller. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
First and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a 1-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Again, he'll drop to throw. Over the middle and complete to Shaheed. Now the Saints will use their 3rd and final timeout as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. They'll come up facing 3rd and 5. From the gun, it's Carr. Throw out wide is incomplete. So a couple of first downs on this drive, but it's looking like another empty possession.
And those empty possessions are certainly starting to pile up. So the adjustments that teams talk about all the time have to be taking place. They've got to analyze what's breaking down and figure a way to fix it.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And with a 14-3 advantage already, we'll see how much they want to try to push things, if at all. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Credited with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. So we have reached halftime now with the visiting Falcons out on top. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
Okay, Brandon, back to you guys in just a moment, but welcome everyone to our Creative Village studios in the EA Sports halftime report. It was a former Longhorn, Bijan Robinson, who was tough to stop in that first half. He had a touchdown run that helped get his guys this halftime lead.
All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. Ready for the second half. 14-3 our score as we are back underway on EA Sports. From his end zone, here's Rashid Shaheed. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter three.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well, and they've kept them around in this game. Now, they got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains.
And that's one of the better plays we've seen this offense put together so far. They haven't been able to get on track much at all. But listen, they're only down a couple of scores with the rest of this quarter and the entire fourth remaining. So, stranger things have happened.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. On play action, it's Carr. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. Grady Jarrett, what a play by him. That's going to go as a loss of 13.
I'd say it's not panic time yet, but let's be honest about it. Empty possession here, not what you're looking for when you're down a couple of scores.
Absolutely not. Trying to start the second half off on the right foot. Unfortunately, going to give the ball up. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Carr now to throw. This one swung out to Williams. And he is out of bounds right around the 34. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. They set up the screen to Miller. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. A pickup of 27, and they pick up the 1st down in the process.
And when you're throwing the ball downfield really well like they have been on this drive, it's really a nice time to work one of the screen plays in. One of my favorite play callers in the game has always told me he starts every game with 10 to 12 screens because if he starts feeling the pressure from the defense, he uses their aggressiveness against them.
Carr now on 1st down. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
So it looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Up the middle, it's Williams. And he'll get 4 here down to the 35-yard line.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
They need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a 1st here on 3rd down. Now a play fake. Carr. Blitz coming, and down he goes. A well-designed corner blitz that gets him for a loss of 8 yards.
Well, partner, I would say just avoid play action, but that's not just been the problem. This defense, they've been getting pressure on all types of pass plays and really piling up the sacks in this contest.
Here comes the Saints punter now as he's on to kick it away. No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20. Here comes the Falcons offense. It's their first possession of the second half now. Falcons 1st and 10 here as Ritter gets them ready at their own 20-yard line. Here's Ritter. Checks this one down to Robinson. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
Now Ritter, and caught by London. And he'll be out of bounds at the 25-yard line. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
Ritter will set up to throw it. And that is incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
Here's Bradley Pinion now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. Carr going to lead the Saints up here 1st and 10 at about the 32. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete.
I'm getting the sense that this offense is getting frustrated. Here we are into the 3rd quarter, and they've had plenty of opportunities to get in sync. Thus far, that hasn't happened. They're looking for answers both on the sidelines and in the huddle looking at each other.
Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Carr. And Thomas has it. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It'll be a Saints 1st down on a gain of 16 yards.
Even against double coverage, he found enough of an opening for a noticeable gain. 2 guys on it, yet he finds a way to uncover downfield for the completion.
Carr now on 1st down. There's a short one to the tight end, Johnson. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
Such a tough position to defend near the line, even when you add a 2nd defender, but the big man shrugged off the extra body and made the play call a success.
2nd down and 4. They fake the handoff. Now Carr. Again, it's Johnson. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Again, it's Carr. Looking for Thomas, but that's intercepted. Picked by Jeff Okudah. And the Falcons are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line. Before we came up to the booth, last thing he said as we were walking off the field, want to play mistake-free football. Well, that just went out the window there with a pick.
And do you remember what you said to me when we were walking up to the booth after he said that? You're like, oh, fatal last words. Every time we hear that, things tend to fall apart a little bit, and that's what we saw there. Didn't get enough on that throw, and it turned into an interception.
Ritter and the Falcons now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. He'll get it to Robinson to begin the drive. And he finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be second down.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
On second down, another shot for Robinson. Able to fight through 1 tackle. And a good stiff arm there before he's brought down on a nice little gain. 48 yards on the ground for him so far.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the third quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the second half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
That's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
Here's Bradley Pinion now as he's on to punt for Atlanta. And here's a fair catch taken at about the 24-yard line. 37 yards on the punt with no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. They'll try and get the run game going. This is Miller. That's to about the 28. Second down coming up. Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Now Carr. Gets this complete to Shaheed. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Throwing now is Carr. Open man left side. Shaheed has it. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a one-score game. I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try and get the ball back again.
From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 43. He'll find Shaheed out to the right. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
That's the 3rd time on this drive that these two have connected with each other. They've got a real rapport going. And right now, it's paying off with big chunks of yardage, as shown by that last play.
Again, they'll throw with Carr. This is caught by Williams. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a 2nd and just a few inches left. Jet sweep. Carr bats it forward. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
And this is just a little touch pass. They send the receiver in motion, just kind of tap it forward to it. Now, it doesn't turn into a huge play, but they do pick up a first down, a nice, consistent gain.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Here's Carr to throw. That is hauled in by Michael Thomas. And the Saints are going to be looking at first and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Now Carr. Got a man open. It's Thomas. It's a touchdown for New Orleans. 4 yards on the touchdown grab. And the Saints have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th.
There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
They'll look to run for it with Williams. And he will get into the end zone to cut the lead down to a single point. I guess the coach looked at the 2-point cheat sheet, said go for it, get it to a 3-point game, and they did it.
Yeah, and sometimes you just throw out time of game. You don't worry about that. There's just a feel sometimes in making that call, and he felt good about what he had for a 2-point conversion, and now they're only down 3 and feeling great about themselves.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. They've been asleep for a little while on this side of the football, Charles, and the score is just a 1-score game now. Haven't had any points this half. What gives?
Let's go old school here. All right, let's get back to the basics. Get back to running the football, high percentage throws. Find the guys that eat pressure and make plays for you and make sure they touch it.
Falcons 1st and 10 here as Ritter gets them ready at their own 24. And from the shotgun, he'll throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Pete Werner coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Pressure can come from all over when you're plotting a defensive strategy. On that particular play, it just came from the outside.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. Working from the gun, Ritter. That's going to be caught by Pitts. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. It's a gain of 35.
You ask tight ends about their favorite routes to run, and surprisingly, this will pop up as one of their staples because they run so many routes in the middle of the field. How about this one? Starts downfield, bends it to the corner, great touch on the football, and they turn that one into a big play.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. First and 10, it's Patterson. And a strong run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 35. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. A give left side to Robinson. And this defense not ready for that one as he'll take this down inside the 25. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. 5 points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on 1st down. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. Again, it's Robinson. And some determined running there as he'll pick his way down to the 12-yard line. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Robinson, he'll try the left side. And after the good game last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Straight ahead, it's Robinson. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. It's been a pretty long drive. This will be play number 9, and they need 10 yards out of it on 3rd. Back to throw. Ritter. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. Certainly some pressure here on Younghoe Koo. This to swell the lead to 6. Koo knocks this one through the post. And that will add 3 more to their lead. It pushes it up to 6. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down.
I know you hype. I know you hype.
The punter Pinion now to kick this one away. On the return, here's Shaheed. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So time for Carr and the Saints. Down by 6, 55 seconds remaining. How will this thing pan out? We'll watch as they come up on 1st down. Carr to throw. They got his man complete. And he is out of bounds inside the 35.
And this is one of those gotta-have-them drives. You can't start much better than that. Big yardage there. And just as important, he's able to get out of bounds. And now, that changes everything.
Final minute, no timeouts at their disposal. Here's 1st and 10. Carr. And this is taken in at the 5. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3.
Oh, man, that can wind up being the key play of the ball game right there. Defensively here, you know they've got no timeouts. You've got to keep them away from the sidelines. Here, not only do they get the big yardage, but they get out of bounds as well.
Here we go, 1st and goal. Throwing his Carr. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Lorenzo Carter in there to take him down, and the clock will roll.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback, he's not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
Now Carr. That's to the right sideline, and it falls incomplete.
Now we're in the situation where the quarterback's got to take full charge of his huddle. Got to totally command it, make sure all eyes are on him. All focus is locked in. Going to call multiple plays and go over different situations and scenarios to make sure everyone is on the same page.
Here's Carr. And this is caught. Touchdown. And now they're an extra point away from winning this thing in the final seconds.
Well, that's the one they had to have. Put them in a position where they're tied up, but I got to get out of the way. We still got an extra point. That's pretty crucial.
That's right. Just one more element to complete the victory. No going for two. They'll kick the point after. And here come the whistles and a timeout with 7 seconds left.
Let's go, man.
Point after here coming up. And they have got the lead. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it ends with a late touchdown to the ever-critical PAT as it is now a 1-point game here in the dying embers of what has been a sensational game. The ball upright on the tee, and the Saints kick team booms it away. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23.
Okay, ready?
A final shot now for Ritter. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. Well, it took us until the final play, Charles, to officially decide a winner. Although on that last play they were so backed up it would have taken a miracle, and they couldn't get that miracle done.
Well, I like how you stayed with it because we both knew that this had to go down to the last play, and neither side was going to exhale until that play concluded because we've seen the improbable before. A couple of laterals, maybe some poor defense on the back end. They might have gone all the way to the end zone. In this case, though, it didn't happen. Perhaps next time.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. The Saints